Okay, now we're back with our text that we just got out of optical character recognizing with our friend Adobe Acrobat Pro, not Reader, but Pro. And so we're kind of looking at this, and as I mentioned before, this what looks like a dot leader is not really a dot leader, it's just a bunch of periods with some faults in it. It has a few space characters. Here's one that's double spaces, and most of them are single spaces. And we could use our find and replace to clean a lot of that up. I'd like to get these piles of dots converted into a tab character for easy manipulation. These descriptions all have a paragraph return at the end of them, and I could replace that paragraph return with a space so that it would let these paragraphs flow, but it's going to cause me a lot of trouble on these lines that are reserved for type, and things like all the character or the item names and things. So you have to kind of choose what things you want to change and what things you just want to go in and manually fix. And I think I would probably let this go, and I would just manually fix all of these returns, because it's going to be a lot tougher to figure out where all of these things break at this point. So let's just do another look down here. We've got some of these items have a space or a full line return in between them. That would be a good thing to reduce. You could say if you find an instance where there's 2 line returns, change that to 1 line return, because you never want to put in a line return as a spacing tool in a body of text like this. That's a terrible way to do it, because you don't have any control over that. You could even have that empty line could have a font of a different size that you didn't notice, and your spacing would be all goofy. And a full line space is usually too much. You want to have control over that. So you take these out, replace them with a character styles space below the paragraph or space above the paragraph, and that way within the character style you can, with one little change, tweak a little bit of space in or out of that area where you don't have any control when you have a full line space. So only amateurs do this, and you're a designer, so you're going to get rid of that. That's simply a find and replace 2 paragraph returns and change them to 1 paragraph return. We'll do that. Okay, let's go up here and let's just address this. I don't think I'll change the paragraph things. That's pretty easy, but I'm going to take care of these lines of dots. Okay, so we'll go to our find and change. And I know that there are some, I'm going to change back to the text, and then I'm going to say, if I put in I'll type a space. No, I want to type a dot and 2 spaces, and then another dot. So if it finds a dot and 2 spaces, which are not very common, I don't see any right now, and change it to, let's say, a single dot. Change all in the story. I don't want to change the document or the selection. I want to change the story, because everything I got from Acrobat is that one story. So I found 1 replacement for that. There just weren't very many double dots apparently, or many double spaces. So I'm going to take one of the spaces out. So I've got dot, space, dot, change all, 84 of those. And now you see that these cleaned up. I'm going to try it one more time here. I see I still have a few more. Change all, 5 replacements. And I don't see anything else, but I'll try one more just for the sake of thoroughness. And yes, I am down to 0. Now, if I wanted to change these lines of dots into a tab character, I'll clean this out. I could do a series of things where I grab a bunch of dots, delete them, and then I could keep changing down until I get down to occurrences of 2 dots, and I could change occurrences of 2 dots into a tab character. So I could put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a bunch of dots, change them to 1 dot. Okay, in the story, so change all. Did 199 of those. I'll try it one more time, just to see how 21 of those. And I'm going to reduce this down to something a little more manageable, like 3 dots. Okay, change all. I keep changing all until I get down to where it won't, goes down to 0. And so now I've got places where there's 1 dot, 2 dots, and let's see if this is right here. Am I going to be able to do this? Okay, so I'll change the 2 dots to 1 dot. You have to kind of be cognizant of what you're doing so you don't change all of the paragraphs, ending periods into the wrong thing. So now I see that I've got a lot of things here that have prices, and it's like a space and a dot, and actually I don't know if this is supposed to be the end of a paragraph or the period at the end of a paragraph. I don't think so. So I'm going to say if I find a space and a dot, a space, and a $sign, copy that. Say, okay, if you find those, change them to, in our trick character for the text find things is caret. T is the tab character, and then we want to put our $sign back in, so we'll change it. We'll type our $sign in there, and that's not within the selection. It tends to flip back to that. Okay, so change all, kablooey, and now we have put tab characters in there on that. So by just doing a few quick text change operations, you can save yourself a lot of work. This is up above here in the previous menu, because these are tabs up here. And some of these have double tabs, I notice. And so you might have to, well, maybe it isn't a double tab, maybe it's we'll have to take a look at that. Anyway, that's another iteration of the find and change thing, which is kind of fun.